What's up YouTube? This is GroudonEmpire and I am back after quite a while finishing up that last series. If you guys did not see the last upload that I have on my channel, it was the final episode to a series that I called Road to 1700 for the second team that I tried to do that with. Now I'm going to put a stop to that series. Maybe I'm going to bring it back later down the line, but I've decided to stop that series and focus on something new. I recently realized that Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire is only 1 month away. Barely more than a month away, and that means that this season is the final season of Pokemon X and Y rating battles that are going to have all of the pre-Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire Pokemon and Mega Evolutions. And so that is why I'm deciding that from here on out until Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, I'm going to try to just go to be the highest I can possibly be on the rating ladder. See just how high I can reach. And Global 1000 is a very hard place to be at. And, you know, it's mostly filled. 900 or 990 of those players are filled with Japanese players. So I've decided that I'm going to try to go for top 1000. Top 500 and top 50 are very hard to do. So I'm deciding to go for top 1000. So I'm going to make the title of this series Route Global 1000. So let me know what you guys think about the title of this series. If you guys like the sound of Route Global 1000 better, or Road to Top 1000, or if you have any crazy ideas of yourself. For now, I'm gonna go with Route Global 1000. If for whatever reason I don't like that name and you guys suggest something better, I'll probably use that. But without further ado, let's go in. So as you can see, I have a new team. I have a Scizor. This is basically a new Scizor. It's the same moveset and same EVs and same everything as the Scizor that, spoiler alert, if you didn't watch the last episode of the last series, that I ended up releasing. Fortunately, I was able to get the Scizor from a friend of mine, and it's not just your normal Scizor, it's actually shiny. Now, most people are not a fan of shiny Scizor, but I would say in X and Y, it actually looks pretty darn sweet. So I'll press the challenge button. Our rating is 1538. And I'll just continue talking about this team in the meantime. So this is a shiny Scizor. It's basically the same Scizor we had. It's choice banded though, it's not Mega. Our Gyarados is a physical wall with Intimidate and Rocky Helmet. You'll see its moveset in a bit as we play the battles. And I'll introduce the other Pokemon as we go through the other battles. Alright, so we start off facing 2 Pranksters, 2 Dragons, a Ditto. Good thing my team does not have any setup sweepers. And a Gyarados. So how are we gonna play? What are we gonna pick first? Now I have camera ups on this team. If you guys probably wondering why there are camera ups on this team. Camera up basically deals with Prankster users pretty darn well. It's immune to burn. It's immune to Thunder Wave. And it's a special attacker. Well, it doesn't have to be a special attacker, but special attack is its highest stat, and it's the best way to deal with Prankster users. So I made it choice specs. It can also one-shot Aegislash, which is gigantic. So I'm gonna start off with camera up. You know, if a Gyarados comes my way, I'm gonna bring in the Ferrothorn. Alright. Ferrothorn can also do, well, it doesn't like dragons that have fire type attacks. But if that's the case, I might need to have Gyarados on my team. But then Gouter might have Thunderbolt. I have a Gouter of my own, but it doesn't have Thunderbolt. So then Mega Heracross comes to mind if that's the issue. But then again, fire moves are destructive. So then I really don't know what I want to do at the end. If those dragons have any fire moves, I am in big trouble. If I don't bring Gyarados, how am I going to deal with those dragons? That's very troublesome. I'm probably just going to keep. I'm not going to run Gyarados most likely. I'm just gonna Yeah, I'm just going to use Heracross. I'm not going to run Gyarados. Gyarados is good versus Garchomp, and I need that versus Garchomp actually. Like, it's my only up. It has a fire move. If it has a fire type attack, Ferrothorn is dead. Otherwise, Ferrothorn can deal with Garchomp pretty darn well. We'll see what happens. I'm sorry if my voice is kicking a little bit. It might be a little messed up. It's pretty cold in Canada. I don't have a cold, but it's pretty cold in Canada. So starting off camera up. I want to talk a lot about these Pokemon as our games progress. Now, do I start off with a Fire Blast or do I start off with an Earth Power? I think the best thing to do is to actually use Earth Power because I don't want my Fire Blast to get stalled out. Let's see what happens. Probably going to go into Gyarados, but I can't just predict right off the bat. Yeah, it is a Gyarados. I can't just predict right off the bat. Now, it would be in my best interest to have used, what's it called? I'm going to go into Ferrothorn now. It would have been in my best interest if I used, what's it called, Gyarados of my own, because the Camerupt, Ferrothorn, Gyarados combo, that trio is a very, synergistically, they are amazing. Synergistically, they are truly amazing. So that counts for something. And I'll expand on this as we play more games. Now, I don't want to do an entire team introduction right at the beginning, because it's a lot. It takes a long time. Probably going to use Earthquake. Do I use Leech Seed or do I use Power Whip? If it has Substitute, I might be in trouble. If it has Taunt, I might be in trouble. So I might use Power Whip. I'm going to use Power Whip. It uses Earthquake. That doesn't do that much damage, so that's nice. And Power Whip does huge damage. So that's nice, that's pretty. And I'm just going to go for another Power Whip, because why not? I mean, it doesn't matter what he can bring in Goodra. He can bring in Goodra if it has Sap Sipper, but the problem with him bringing in Goodra, or her bringing in Goodra, is that if it's physical, I mean, what move is it going to use, you know? That's probably a Goodra. Yeah, it's a Goodra. But if it's physical, okay, it's not Sap Sipper, so it's going to take big damage. Well, okay, it's big damage for a resisted hit. I have to tell you that much. It's big damage for a resisted hit. This is a max attack Ferrothorn, if anyone's wondering, because I did not share the EV spreads and everything. This is a max attack Ferrothorn with max speed, and the lowest, what the hell? No, max HP and max attack, brave nature, and minimum speed, 0 IVs, so Gyro Ball is powerful as it can be. Gudra can be a problem. I'm going to use Protect. I have Protect, Leech Seed, Gyro Ball, and Power Whip. I'm going to use Protect and Scout to see what move it's going to use. If it's going to use Flamethrower, I'm going to just go into Camerupt. If it uses the Dragon move, I don't have to worry about Gyarados because I have Heracross. Heracross is not going to die to it. I need Camerupt alive for Sableye though, so I'm just going to stay with this guy and I'm going to use Gyro Ball. Go ahead, use a Fire Attack. Or don't use a Fire Attack. Go into Gyarados, Sableye. Okay, alright, I see what's up. And I'm healing, so that's nice. So I have leftovers on this Ferrothorn. I'm going to go into Camerupt. I don't know what it's going to do. But Camerupt, I mean, it can't. What's it going to do to Camerupt? Foul Play would do damage. It wouldn't do too much damage, but it would do damage. So it's going to go into. Okay, I see what it's doing. That's not a bad play. Not a bad play. Now I'm going to go into Ferrothorn because I need this camera up to life. No matter what happens, I need the camera to life. So this is a 14.99 rating opponent, but this opponent knows what they're doing. So, nice prediction. They predicted the Twitch. That's a Death Sparrow form. Is it Expert Bell? Is it Choice Specs? Is it Light Orb? Apparently, it's none of the above. So what I'm going to do is I am going to use Pin Missile. I want to bring in Mega Heracross, and I'm going to use Pin Missile. Well, Heracross, I want to Mega Evolve and use Pin Missile. Dragon doesn't resist Bug, right? So that's a dead Goodra. Unless it's Scarfed. But even if it is Scarfed, Mega Heracross is going to survive. Mega Heracross is bulky. Now, Pin Missile does have a 5% chance to miss. So that is troublesome. If Sableye does come in, I'm going to use Pin Missile. I understand Will-O-Wisp is a problem. But I'm going to predict that this guy is going to go into Gyarados, predicting me to go into Camerupt. If not, oh well. I'm still going to use Pin Missile. Because Pin Missile is going to hurt. It doesn't matter what you are. Pin Missile is going to hurt from a Mega Heracross. Never mind, Pin Missile's not going to do a thing. Anyway, at this point, I'm going to go into Camerupt, because he's going to recover. And what I'm going to do at this point is, I am just going to use Ancient Power. Is it risky? Is it risky? I'm not completely... He's probably not going to expect Ancient Power, so I am going to use Ancient Power. If he starts doing crazy things to me, like Confuse Ray, okay, now I am very frustrated. We're seriously losing to someone $14.99. I'm going to stay and use Ancient Power again. Snarl keeps on critical hitting me. Yeah, Ancient Power is a waste. I mean, not quite. I might get a critical hit. And a critical hit would be devastating. Something I would see. And now I have a special attack buff. So we'll see what happens. Again, critical hits are devastating. And I also have a special... Well, my special attack is not as low as... Ooh, that could have been big. If I got a crit on that, that would have been huge. And now the Sableye dies, and I have a gigantic chance of actually winning this game with Heracross. Because I'm not going to get the attack down, and this guy has to attack me. If he tries anything else, he's in bad shape. If he tries absolutely anything else, he's in bad shape. Dragon Dance might have bounce. might be confident, oh, I have bounce, I can destroy it. Or probably not. He's probably gonna have Ice Fang or bounce. I predict an Ice Fang, so I think that I can actually beat. I can win this completely. As long as what's that move called? Rock Blast does not decide to miss, I win this. Now, should I use Rock Blast or should I use? Close Combat is going to do 90 damage because it's resisted, but it's burned, so it's like doing 45 damage. Bullet Seed is going to do 125, but I'm burned, so it's going to do 63 damage. So I think the best move to use would actually be Bullet Seed. Because I don't want to take a chance of Rock Blast missing. And also, as you saw, there was a crit. So multi-hitting moves, if it hits all 5 times, there is a big chance for a crit. And so that means it's not going to miss, right? It doesn't have a 10% chance of missing, and it also has a heightened chance of actually critting. So anyway, I think that's enough for this pilot episode for this series. So this series is going to be, I believe, for now I'm going to call this the Route Global 1000 series. So this Route Global 1000, now you have Route 101 or Route whatever, Route Global 1000. So that concludes this episode of Route Global 1000. I hope you enjoy this episode. I hope that I can end up climbing really high with this team, especially. It has the camera up. I am so hyped for this team. As you go along with all these later episodes, I'm going to talk more and more about this team. I don't want to do an entire introduction on this team all in the first episode. So I hope you guys enjoy yourself. Have a good day. This is GroudonEmpire. Peace out.